What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of lukegtv, and I am your host, Luke G. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell for all so you can see all of my dope content. Alright, guys, let's get into this episode. So my time comes where it ends at the treatment center. I go to Wisconsin to a halfway house. This halfway house, man, I will say, I'll even shout out the halfway house. This was Kinnick Falls in Wisconsin. Great halfway house. If anyone in Minnesota needs somewhere to go to a halfway house after residential, I would highly suggest it, because when I got there, they had this program. Well, it wasn't really a program, but it was more just like people from the town would drive to that treatment center and they would give you what's called a spot job. And basically they'd hire you for like 13, 14 bucks an hour, and they get some money in your pocket, you know? Because when I got there, I really didn't have much money. I just got out of jail. Well, I did get like a stimulus package, so I had a little bit of money, but nonetheless, it was nice to become productive, get stuff done, and kind of get some confidence about myself, you know? Like I was working out, I was looking big, tan, got a nice fade going, you know? I was really feeling myself. I had that glow, you know, coming out of jail, coming out of treatment, and I was just, to be honest, I was just motivated, you know? Luckily to me, in the town that I was in this halfway house, and they had a landscaping company, and voila, that's what I do for a living. So what did I do? I took my stimulus money, I bought a $500 Cadillac, and I start going to work every day. Before you know it, I'm going to work every day, I'm making good money, and we're hanging out. We basically get back together while I'm in the halfway house. She was driving every day from the Twin Cities to this halfway house. You know, we were hanging out, she was clean, and we were doing good. And it was, you know, everything seemingly was good at this point. No, besides, there was still arguments and stuff like that, and there was a little tension just from like her seemingly kind of getting me arrested for the first thing, you know, the domestic that I was arrested for. But I let that go, and you know, she was writing the judge, trying to help me get it dismissed and all that stuff. So, you know, I continue working the whole summer, and it's like at the end of August, right? By this time, like, our relationship was really starting to it was a lot of arguing. It was a lot of just, I can't even explain it, you guys. It just, like, from the beginning, it was just not healthy. It got better for a short period of time when I first got sober, but it kind of just started returning back to that place. I remember one day specifically, I went on a weekend pass, right? I went back to the Twin Cities. Somehow or another, I convinced myself that I want to get high, but do something that doesn't come up on the drug test. So we get some GHB and we do it recreationally. So we go to this park, right? It's Minnehaha Park in Minneapolis. There's falls. There's a nice little picnic area. There's families. It's a really cool place. It's very scenic, cool, awesome place. We both take our little doses and we go walk around. Well, I pass out like on the grass or some stuff, and I wake up 15 minutes later. I'm like, hey, where are you? I walk around the whole park, she's nowhere to be found. And what do you know? My cell phone's dead. I head on over to the nearest grocery store. I give her a call. She's like, oh, I'm at my house. I'm like, you're at your house? I was like, so you looked for me for 5 minutes and you go back home? And that's the kind of stuff I was talking about. Just very weird, bizarre. Like, who looks for someone for 5 minutes and then goes home? Like, it was literally like 40 minutes later. Like, I'd passed out for 15 minutes. I woke up, went to the grocery store, she's gone. And I mean, her house was like 20 minutes from where we were. So I was like very angry, whatever. So we get back to her apartment, we're arguing. I talk to my dad, we're arguing, and I go in the other room. I come back and she's just looking like this, like, I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, no. Literally, like, I verbatim, that's what she was saying. And at this point, I was like, oh man. I was like, did you drink any more? Did you drink any more of that? She downed the GHB. I told her before we did this, this isn't something you just slam like a shot of vodka. Like, you need to be very, very careful about this. She's getting worse by the minute, right? And her body's like just a limp, like weight, like very heavy. Like when someone's just limp and you gotta carry them, it's very, very heavy. So she was on the second floor of this apartment. I had to carry her body to her car, get her in the car. I'm slapping her, throwing water on her, making sure she's staying conscious, and I bust to the next hospital. While I'm driving, I literally have one arm on the wheel, and I'm giving her CPR, pinching her nose and breathing her, slapping her, not in a bad way, just trying to keep her alive. Splashing water on her, giving her CPR, and doing that and repeat. Luckily, there was a hospital that was like 6 minutes away from her house. We get to the hospital and she's getting bad. I mean, she's like getting blue at this point. She's like in and out, like in and out of consciousness. I show up and there's a cop there. Great. Me and her have a restraining order. But at this point, I'm just trying to save her life. I open her car door. I go into the hospital and I get the hospital staff. They carry her in there and I proceed to skirt. End up going back to my sober house in Wisconsin. And then I'm like, I get to the sober house. I'm trying to like just act like everything's okay. I check in and like I literally like I had a little bit of this GHB left, and I prayed to God. I'm like, God, I will throw this stuff away. Like, please do not let her die. Please, please, please. I took a couple extra Klonopin that night just to fall asleep because I was just so worried. He called me at 3 a.m. Thankfully, she was alive. Shortly after this, you know, we hang out. I was really glad to see her. I would give her a big hug. I was glad she was alive. And everything was good for a couple more days. But like always, the arguing continued. Things just got bad quick. At this point, I had never cheated on her. I'm not really the cheating type. But I was, you know, flirting with girls from here to there, and she found that, she looked through my phone and caught me doing that. We got in a huge fight, and she threatened to call my probation and get me in trouble. When she did that, I just had a face like this. I was like, give me your effing phone right now. Give me your phone. I took her phone. I deleted every single piece of evidence that we had ever communicated. And I gave her phone back and I was like, don't ever call me again. So I go back into the treatment center. Next couple days, she's trying to call me. She's trying to contact me. And I'm not answering. I maybe a couple word answers here, a couple word answers there. I was just done at this point. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to prison over this girl. Like, not worth it at all. I'm not going to prison over this girl. So I basically just ghosted her. And, you know, I do feel bad about that to this day. That wasn't the right thing to do. But at the time, I felt like that was all I could do, you know, just for myself. And I'm not saying that was right. I'm not saying it was wrong. It just, it is what it was. It was what it was, is basically what I can say. So, like 5-6 days go by, and I start getting messages on my Instagram and Facebook account threatening to kill me, like death threats, like you POS, like da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what? So I look at her profile and I see this big post saying, I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. He was abusing me for 8 months. And she showed a picture of the night we, you know, had that skirmish. Like, what a lot of people failed to realize was that was 2 weeks into our relationship. We were together for 7 months. I never even pushed her again. And that's all, and honestly, that's all I did. My domestic was from pushing her away from me because she was punching me. And that was the second week we knew each other. After that, I never pushed her. I never even said threatening words to her. She just, I guess in her way, she just felt so hurt and so betrayed, and it's probably made her feel so small that she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get back at him in the best way I know how. you know, it is what it is. Because honestly, I really don't care. Like, it didn't really affect my personal life in any way, just other than the random threats from people on Facebook. But I mean, it did probably make some people I knew look at me a little bit different. So yeah, it did affect me in some way. You know, you should never ever falsely accuse someone of any kind of assault, because you can't undo falsely accusing someone. You know, and that's basically where the relationship ended. More crazy stuff happens after that. We'll continue later. Thanks for watching the episode, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, click the notification bell for all if you want to see all my videos. And guys, I'm saving up for a camera so I can film more often. I gotta use this camera, I gotta borrow it from someone else to make videos. That's why I don't make my edited videos as much. So I'll put the Cash App and everything in the description. Be safe. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'm Luke from lukegtv, and I'm out. Peace.